Hi everybody, this is Rachel with the Lake Hazel Library, and today we're kind of at a weird angle with the camera, but that is because we'll be working with water. Now, you all know what gravity is, right? It's what keeps us down on the earth, makes it so we can't jump very high or fly to the top of a tree or anything like that. Now, there's also something called air pressure, which is all around us. We're constantly being pushed everywhere with air pressure. Now, I wonder what's going to happen if we test the air pressure theory. Now, if I cut kind of a thick piece of paper here to fit the top of my cup, I wonder if we can get air pressure to go against gravity. Now, hang on here. Let's cut this piece of paper. Do it with me. Grab a cup, grab some water, grab scissors, paper, and do it with me. Okay, I have this piece of paper here that covers the top of my cup. I have a few different cups that I want to try. I want to try with this green one first and see how that works, because the green one is hard plastic and this one is soft plastic. So I don't know if we'll get a proper seal with the soft plastic one. So let's try out our hard plastic. I also have a red one that we might try in a little bit. All right, let's pour in some water into our cup. Is that a little too much? I think I'm gonna try it out with less water to begin with. And I also have some food coloring. I'm going to Diet Blue, just normal old food coloring. Let's just put some in here. Maybe 3. Swirl it around so it's nice and colored, so it's easier for you to see. Put the cap back on my food coloring. Alright, now I have a bin here just in case I spill, and a bunch of towels on hand. You can do this outside so that your parents don't get mad at you for making a mess. But I have this bin here so that hopefully if I do make a mess and my science experiment doesn't go as planned, it'll just fall into my bin and not all over the carpet. Alright, we got our water in here, swirled to about there. And I'm starting out with a little bit of water because the gravity that's pushing down on the water will also be pushing down on the piece of paper. So with less water, less weight is on this piece of paper, so here we go. Do it along with me. You can either pause and do it first and see if you can figure it out, or you can do it along with me. So we just put our paper on top of there. Now, you put your hand on it, and then you do a quick turn so that it's upside down. See, a little water came out there. Now if I take my hand away, will it hold on? Look at that, floating water. You can see there's still some water in there. Ooh, which, because I started swirling it around, it stopped doing what it was supposed to. The water created surface tension, which grasped onto the note card, and then air pressure pushed up against it so that it was working. Good thing I got these towels everywhere because I splashed outside a little bit. Clean that up. Alright, now let's try this again without swirling the cup. Let's do more water. And I don't have any food coloring in there anymore, so let's go ahead and color it so you guys can see it better. I just put 5 in there, which might be too much. So let's just swirl it to mix it up. There, that's dark enough for you guys to see. I'm gonna try to use the same note card that I used before, but water like kind of changes the integrity of the paper, so hopefully I don't just splash this everywhere, and I'll try not to swirl it. All right, let's try this again. A little bit of water came out when I first dumped it, and look at that. That is floating water. There's nothing underneath the note card. It's purely the surface tension of the water inside the cup grabbing onto the piece of paper and air pressure from outside also pushing against it. Now let's try to flip it back. All right, let's try even more water. Let's see if we can get a lot of weight in here. So let's pour some water in here. Okay, I think that's about as full as I can get this. Let's put our piece of paper on. I'm gonna flip it this way. Fingers crossed. A little bit of water seeped out right at the beginning, and I'm just gonna let go. Just let go. I believe in you. You do it too. Let go. Look at this. Look at how much water is in that cup. That is a lot of water. The water's up to here, but it is holding onto this piece of paper. Isn't that cool? Okay, I'm gonna flip it back. Oh, I got some water out on that. That's why you wanna do this outside. All right, now, I wanna try it in this little plastic cup that kind of moves a little, so we might get kind of the same thing that happened when I swirled the cup, when it just spilled out when I swirled the cup, because that surface tension wasn't able to hold. So I'm wondering if I use this cup, if the same thing will happen, because it's kind of squishy, it moves, so I'm not sure if it will hold the piece of paper on. So in the name of science, let's continue on and using this little one. I'm going to start with just a little bit of water. Ooh, you can really see the color in that. That's how much water we have. All right, put our piece of paper on. No gimmicks, no nothing, just flip it. We got quite a lot of water coming out of it, but there's still a little water on. You can't really see it because of the angle you're at. Okay, let's flip it. See, there's still some water in there. I might need to get a new piece of paper now at this point, because this is pretty waterlogged and squishy. So let's put a pause on that and cut a new piece for us. I'm just measuring against the cup to see how much I need. And I want you guys to start thinking about what other things can I use? Can I use like a vase? Can I use a bigger cup? Can I use a giant water bottle? Put more water in here. That's a lot of water. Okay, I poured some of it out so that we're about half full here. Okay, put the note card on. Well, thick piece of paper. This is cardstock paper, so it's not printer paper. I'm sure construction paper would work, or an index card if your cup was small enough. But this is just regular old paper. All right, let's flip it. We'll probably get some water coming out at the beginning because that's what's been happening. So let's test this out. Ready, and flip. Yeah, a little bit of water came out. A little bit of water came out over here, and a little bit came out over here, but just barely any. That is holding. Now with this one, the paper is moving down. I can see it like that. The paper was moving down, and I wish I could have showed you guys closer, but this was upside down, and the paper was starting to move so that it was shaped like an arc, and I could see the water like barely any. I could see like maybe this much water on the edge of it, holding on to that note card still. I'm gonna see if we can recreate it with less water. So let's pour some of this colored water in. And let's get a little bit closer here. Maybe not that close. And let's try this out again. And flip. See, piece of paper is starting to move down, but it was holding on to the piece of paper while the paper was still down. It started pouring out really fast because the paper is pretty wet now. So let's try it again, but let's try to make it arch like that so you guys can see it. Alright, I have another piece of paper. Let's fill this again with water. I have about this much water in my cup. Now I'm gonna lay some towels down right here so I can show you closer what's happening. Alright, I'm gonna flip this and bring it close. Alright, I'm gonna let go. Now hopefully it's gonna show us what happened before. When the paper starts to kind of peel away from the edge, look what's happening right now. It's peeling away, but look, you can see the water on the other side of it. Isn't that cool? Like there's the lip of the cup. You can see the water. Do you see that? Oh, now it's coming out. But that was awesome. That surely proves surface tension. Now, I'm gonna go with our biggest cup here. We're gonna do the same thing. And fill it all the way up. And see if we can recreate with that much weight coming down. That is a very full red cup. My paper is kind of wet, so hopefully this will work. Little water came out. Now look at that. Look at how much water's in there holding on to that note card. And I'm gonna flip it before it does the same thing it's been doing and getting water everywhere. So I want you guys to continue experimenting what you can do this with. Could you maybe use a water bottle, a vase, a plastic toy? Could you fill that with water and flip that around also? Let me know. I want to know what you guys have discovered. I want you guys to post on our social media, tag us, Ada Community Library, so that I can see all of your crazy science experiments. I want to see pictures of the note card or the piece of paper moving down so that you can see the water underneath the cup. That was cool. I'm glad you guys were able to see that just a little bit. But I want you guys to show me because that is so cool. We had floating water.